Mzansi Afrika Mzansi Afrika nenkubeko yakho yalo nto ndisithi kaloku thina siphuma phansi kweentaba zensizwa kaloku thina siphuma phansi kweentaba zikanolangeni kaloku thina siphuma phansi kweentaba zegqili yalo nto ndisithi kunyembelekile singene nzulu ngezinto sethu sikahlela ikumkani zethu enkosi zethu ukuze sizazi siyaphila sivela phila apho sithi sikhosa khona hambisa Kala phekaya kwabhaqa ndithi bayithi lolkhanyo ndipheka kwikumkani zesizwe ndithi bayithi salozuko yolo nto ndisitsho njalo ndikahlela kubantwana begazi kaloku ikumkani yinto ebonakala ngempondo zayo ebuhlanti matholo hlanga nanzi inkcubeko nanzi imveli kaloku sawubhobha ngamabhongo siqala inkonjane sibonakalisa inkcubeko yethu nemveli xa sithi izweli banzi sithi ndlovu yezwe sithi dalizulu sikhahlela abantwana begazi yaqhunya impepho agushuza amahlathi kuba kaloku thina singabantwana bemveli nomthonyama nomgquba hayini bantwana begazi embo hayini bantwana bomgquba embo kulapho sivela khona kulapho sizalwa khona kusenkcubekweni nakwimveli hayi
It's hi. Now that's a fantastic way to start the show on this Heritage Month with poetry from a popular and relevant Imbongi. We on Trendz Live sprinkle each and every Friday evening, bringing you all things travel, lifestyle, arts and culture. And as we unpack our bag of goodies, we keep them trendy with a spark of edutainment too. And thank you so much for joining us for another exciting show on SABC News Channel 404. Let's say together, welcome to Trendz Live. Now you just heard him and listen here. He is a man who is a wordsmith of note. He's a popular face, often delivering profound messages and wishes through poetry. Proudly hailing from the Eastern Cape, he uses his talent at various occasions, more often at the inaugural celebrations. Now Imbongi Nkanyiso Nsikaniso couldn't resist being on Trendz Live this Heritage Month to discuss why poetry and praise singing are vital. Puti, thank you for joining us. Now let's start here. In this Heritage Month, you are Imbongi, and I believe good land to Shugile. What makes it so extraordinary?
Mdanomhle Imbongi, kukhona imbongi yosiba.
Yes, sir.
Kukhona imbongi yomthonyama. Imbongi yomthonyama lefana nam ayibhali. Kungekho nto eza kuya kuyo esikolweni lithi ndiyofundela uba yimbongi sisiphiwo sezinyanya sisiphiwo sedlozi igift ye-ancestors mandibeke kanjalo.
So kukhona izinto esithintayo whenever you do your poetry, right? Why zibalulekile lezo zinto, and then how do you also take into the topics ofuna ukukhuluma ngazo in your poetry?
Mntanomhle ndiyabulela amakhulu amagama. Xa uhlonipha umzekelo njengoba bendisitsho ukhahlela inkosi uba nomnombo womuntu uvelaphi siyaphi ngoba ndisitsho apha ndiyimbongi ufuna kube khona into ezikuthunukayo ezikwenza uthethe lento iyo eyakhe isizwe zesikhumbula into yenye mntanomhle singabantu abantsundu yonke into esithetha ngayo ufuna kube nencambu.
And I know ukuthi you are proud ukuba umXhosa, you right? We can see the pride whenever you showcase your work. But then how does that contribute to wena as umXhosa and also tapping into your talent ne heritage yakho? Lezo zinto sihlangana njani?
Oh, ndiyabulela uhamba nami wena. Mntanomhle lento isisiphiwo lento ngumlando womuntu igushuza izinto ezininzi ndazidla ngesixhosa inkcubeko yami de amaphupha amaninzi de ndirhalele ukusebenza noBhikuzulu lihlanganise isixhosa onathi okhuzani onke lamadoda aveleleyo ndisikhulise isixhosa sibheke phambili ngoba inkcubeko yami nemveli ndazidla ngazo.
And sikubone kwamama Winnie Madikizela Mandela at the memorial service, and then sakubona futhi usebenza nabontando in one of his albums, right? Lezo zinto sihlukile asihlangani at all. Mara you've managed with the beautiful talent yakho ukusihlanganisa. How do you manage to tap into the memorial service uphinde ngapha usebenze nontando? Lezo zinto uzidlala kanjani?
Maniphinde kwakhona mntana omhle ndibulele kwindlu kaNozulu ntando bangani ngokukholelwa kulento yalento yembonga team basike sidibanise lento kuvele enye into ndiphinde futhi ndibulele kumbutho osiphetheyo xa indinika ithuba lokuba mandibe yimbongi kwi-memorial service ndisaphinda kweligama elithi liqhaya nokuzingca ngalento yobumbongi.
And then your message this month to the nation, this Heritage Month, utini gu South Africa about whatever pride that we must carry as Tina South Africans regarding this Heritage Month.
Singafundi imfundo sihuqele phansi njengesila sikajobela sikhumshe sithini zesikhumbula into enye siyindlu ensundu singabantu abamnyama masingazilahla apho sivela khona singabe suthi singamavenda singamaxhosa ngayintoni isiko lethu masihloniphe sibheke phela phambili ngalo sizince ngalo.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And then that is how we celebrate Heritage Month, and also starting off with a bit of poetry from our gentleman, our good poet, all the way from the Eastern Cape. Now, kings and queens that ruled in Africa in the olden days helped cultivate and narrate our heritage. And as history is documented through different art forms, males are often portrayed as the heroic contributors to the successful kingdoms. Now, this time, in celebration of Heritage Month, an exhibition changes the stereotype by exalting the accomplishments of African queens and how they also conquered against the social construct of where a woman's place should be. Now, Trendz live producer Didintle Mokelet was at the Origin Art in Rosebank, Johannesburg, to experience the exhibition African Queens Restoring History. Let's go have a look.
A thought-provoking exhibition relaying powerful stories of courage, resilience, and power. On these walls are portraits of African female monarchs, bringing them out of the shadows of history. These queens mark a significant part of our heritage. Lauren, why are we here and why is this such an amazing creative space?
This is Origin Art, and we're showing Chantal Kutsia, an amazing artist based in Cape Town who's put together, through incredible research, the most amazing exhibition on African queens, women who reigned in Africa, and their amazing stories, how they came into power, what they did during their reign, and what they accomplished. They've created the Africa that we know, and we are in the midst of restoring that history.
What makes it unique that we're looking at a woman from a different perspective?
These works show the power of women in so many different ways. Not only do they highlight the history of what they accomplished, how they came into power in patriarchal societies, they also are positioned in such a way. The women are confrontational. They're looking at you face on.
The queens from prominent African countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, Angola, and of course South Africa took charge. Each portrait reveals clues and symbols about the queen, her historical context, and intriguing stories. They all reigned and governed their kingdoms differently. Tell us about some of the interesting qualities or mannerisms that some of these queens had.
I'll tell you about Queen Moremi. She's so loved by her people. She sacrificed her son in order to save her village. It's such a touching story. The next queen I'll tell you about is Queen Amina. Quite a different style of leadership. She was very brutal.
An enriching excursion for those yearning to understand their heritage from the perspective of a female monarch.
The thing that I found the most striking was the use of gold throughout the art pieces. I thought it was very striking and it makes the art look very regal, and the stories, like it was very nice to see the stories of the women, because you hear a lot about the men's stories, kings.
I think it celebrates so many different parts of not just Southern Africa, but Africa, and there's so many stories that like I wasn't even aware of. Like I just walked in here and now I just feel so enriched, and like I feel like I know more of the country that I live in. So yeah, no, I feel like I'm glad to be living in a country with so much culture and diversity.
I thought that the use of color in all of the paintings was really amazing and it looks very real. The stories behind all the paintings were really inspiring to see that women have actually achieved such things and they're so resilient and still in one of the paintings believed in her son's destiny so much that she was shamed and she still fought and motivated him to believe in his destiny.
I go by the name Tabo the Tourist. So what I do for a living, I connect people to art and people to people. So I introduce people into Joburg art scenes. I believe that we need to constantly try to remember where we come from. And these kind of exhibitions are basically for that, saying, let's go back to our history so that we can know where we can go next. The heritage to me, it's all about preserving our culture. So this exhibition is all about restoring our culture. It's about restoring our history. We've learned about the queen from Ghana. I've learned about the queen from Madagascar, how these powerful women used to preserve and fight for our economy and Africa in general.
And this way with art, our heritage becomes timeless and unforgotten. Why will art always have a meaning to humanity?
I think art is really part of the human condition. I think it's what makes us us. We have been creating art for thousands, if not tens of thousands of years, from cave paintings to sculptures of Venuses that have been found over the years in various caves. And I think it just really makes us us. You know, it's helped us to progress from being ape-like creatures to what we are today. You know, we can create these magnificent things from, you know, these amazing hands that we have. And I think art is a big part of it.
I think it's the most exciting exhibition for Africa at the moment. It highlights the power of our women, and it's highlighting a history that's so lost, so unknown. Women have for so long been forgotten and not revered in the way that they should be. We have played such an incredible role in history, and I think it's just magnificent to highlight these stories in this way.
Mission accomplished. Stories about our heritage rekindled through African queens restoring history.
Now you know it is Heritage Month when you find a Tswana man going from Henyena to Sawubona. It went from Tswana to Sizulu very quickly. Mzansi, happy Heritage Month. Now we are officially in the bars of Joburg's cultural calendar as the weekend showcase of art is back at the Sandton Convention Center. The 16th edition of the FNB Art Fair has once again brought back the local and continental artists in one room for them to enjoy. We were invited to the VIP opening. Look at us now, where Selepe Maifadi got the lowdown of what to expect. Let's go experience VIP and see what's this all about.
A showcase of the best contemporary African artworks are displayed at the 16th installment of the longest and leading art fair in Africa.
All our incredible big galleries from Africa, as well as a really nice selection of younger emerging galleries from the African continent as well in our lab section, which we're very excited about.
Break down this lab section. What is that?
So the lab section is really a space that is made to incubate young talent from Africa. It's a space that we created and subsidized completely as FNB Art Joburg. So we allow the galleries to come from all over Africa. It's minimal cost and they can really put their best foot forward because it's a subsidized section. There's not these massive costs involved with like renting out a booth. So the fair in entirety is subsidized just because we want to support the African art ecosystem as much as possible. But this especially is something that we're trying to push for sustainability in the African art ecosystem, something that's very important to us.
What do you think of what's on display today?
I think the most important thing is not what's on display, it's about what FNB is doing with all beyond this art fair. Last week there was a BMW. There's open cities. So for me, it's a whole education and miseducation of what art within the cities is all about. What Johannesburg has to offer beyond the crime that we have and beyond cities burning down. There is an essence of collaborative efforts within all the cultures, within all the textiles, between fashion, between art, and between music.
It's incredible that we have all these galleries here together, showing the best artists, showing the younger artists that come together. So between us and them pushing the sustainability, I think African art is going to go incredible places.
Speak more on the sustainability element. What does that mean? Are we making works out of recycled matter, or where are we going with this element?
So in this, regarding sustainability, we're looking at the longevity of the ecosystem. So not about the artwork itself, really. I mean, that has an important part of it. But it's about creating new collectors who own the culture and own the culture here in Africa, as opposed to be all just being exported throughout. So that's what it is about. And that's what our Young Collectors program is about. It's about creating patrons for the art.
You're here representing Nigeria. Tell us a bit about the artworks that you decided to showcase for the South African audience.
So our booth is sort of, we're showing 4 different artists, but all of their works sort of marry together through collage. We're showing 2 Nigerian artists, Nkechi and Chinezim, and we're also showing 2 Black American artists, Adolphus and Aaron. And I just felt like their works really spoke to each other, and I felt like this fair was the perfect opportunity to bring them and introduce them to the South African market.
Break down the theme.
The fair doesn't really have a theme itself. It's broadly curated and around contemporary African art. So the galleries that we select are very quintessentially present, you know, the political aspects of Africa, the new mediums interrogated in African art. So that's broadly the theme that we look at. Yeah.
For instance, Adolphus and Aaron are talking about issues that really impact the Black American community. Aaron's work sort of talks about, if you see the piece behind me, she's sort of talking about the migration of African bodies, and this is a topic that's obviously, you know, very much in the forefront right now. A lot of them are dealing with identity and just being proud of being Black and talking about the different experiences that we have as Black people, which are obviously very representative. People can relate, and I think it's time. It's good for Black collectors to find artworks that speak to them.
The conversation was, what does it mean to be human? So we were just trying to find the answer, what does it mean to be human? There is no complete answer, but there are steps that you can take to be towards being more human. You know, we could never have one individual who's like the ultimate human, but there's steps towards that. So this work was supposed to engage that conversation.
The works that are being showcased here are not only from South Africa. We're seeing contemporary works from the rest of the continent. What's your take on that, and how inclusive this fair is?
Yeah, I think it's about time. It's so refreshing to see what other countries are doing and other techniques that they're using. I saw works from Barcelona, from Lagos, and the techniques that they're using. Like, it's amazing, and it's inspiring to us artists too.
This epicenter of African art continues to showcase dynamic works for the continent. Another thumbs up as the creative economy rises.
Now, it is not too late for us to get those summer bodies. You mean to say, Boma 50 jumping jacks and Boma sit-ups, we can actually make it, right? Now, health and fitness is never an ending journey. It takes a lot of effort and hard work to see the result, but the end product, listen here, it is worth it. Now, Trendz Love producer Asanda Zondi explored different types of exercise method, from the traditional gym routine to more technological, advanced method. Let's see what's that all about.
The fitness industry in the country is bigger than you think, and just like fashion, it can be trendy too. There are many gyms out there that hire the best trainers as well as fitness coaches. They also offer access to every piece of advanced training equipment one could ever ask for, but it all depends on what a person is looking to get out of it. If you miss getting in shape this winter, then don't be discouraged. There should be a way you can reset your body quick.
A lot of people realized over the COVID pandemic that they weren't as healthy as they thought they were, and it's a big scare that happens. But it's also how our society's changed. I mean, you see a lot of the superhero movies come out. A lot of the younger kids want this aesthetic, this really good look, from guys to girls. A lot of people just want to be healthy. There's a real big focus that's been shifted onto health, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people are coming into gyms and looking to get healthy. Another thing is that the gym has become very inclusive. I mean, back in the 90s, it was only for big muscle guys or very fit women. Now it's for everyone. It doesn't matter what weight you are, how old you are, where you come from, the gym is for everyone.
Most people are not very outdoorsy when it's during winter. So now they're back at it.
trying to rush and make sure that they get that summer body in the next 3 months. After taking a break for that long, how do you get the full swing of it, like getting back to the gym?
The best possible thing you can do if you come from a long rest is to actually sit and slowly ease yourself into it. Come back in. If you used to squat 100, squat 50. Go then to 60 and slowly build yourself up. We call it greasing the groove. And if you do that, you're going to, number one, mitigate any sort of injuries. You're going to have a good workout. You're going to build yourself healthily, and you're going to stay motivated.
When is the best time to hit the gym? I'm not a 5 a.m. gang. I'm not going to wake up in the morning and go to the gym.
So it splits into two sort of groups. It comes down to, number one, what type of person are you? So if you're a very social person, our peak times are the best time, which is when the most people are in the gym. So you're looking from about 5 o'clock to 9, and then in the afternoons from about 4 o'clock to 7. That's when a lot of people, just before work, just after work, the gym's busy, there's a lot of energy. But if you're a very quiet person who just wants to come and get your workout done, we call it the graveyard shift, which is between 9 and 4. That's when there's a lot less people in the gym. You can come and train, you're not going to get bothered. You're going to have a good workout, and you can stay nice and relaxed. The second part is that actually comes down to what training you're looking to do. So strength-based training isn't really ideal in the morning because you haven't had a chance to eat, you haven't had a chance to refuel your body. So you're going to be a bit weaker, plus you've just woken up, your body's not ready. The morning is more for cardio because there has been studies that show that cardio actually boosts your energy for the day. So it comes down to, number one, what type of person are you and what type of training you're looking to do.
What are the best workout or fitness trends in summer?
So strangely enough, the trends that are coming out are actually previous exercise stuff that's come through. So I mean, a big one is boxing. I think obviously just knowing that you can defend yourself as well, having a good workout is a big thing that's coming out now. A lot of people are getting into your yoga and your Pilates just for the relaxation, the flexibility and the benefits that come from that. Calisthenics is a big thing. I mean, not a lot of people can actually come to the gym. So it's a good way of showing them that you can still build a good physique even if you don't have equipment. Yes, the equipment is going to be about 30 to 40% more effective, but you can still be healthy and fit. And then the last one would be is our bio strength. It's actually just been released by Techno Gym, which is something you won't really find in any other gym. It's very new, it's science-based.
On the other hand, this fitness industry has started transforming traditional gyms into smart gyms, and a lot of people are getting attracted to these gyms to become more fit and healthy.
EMS is electromuscle stimulation. An easy way to understand it is rather than conventional training where you're loading your body with external weights, EMS contracts your muscles internally and all the resistance is coming from inside your body itself. What we do is we put you in a suit, and an EMS suit, and it has numerous different electrodes, and each one of them contract a certain muscle group of your body. So what it basically does is it sends through action potential into your muscles, causing your muscles to contract and flex, just as if you would normally flex your muscles, except the machine's doing it itself. And we're contracting your entire body no matter what you are doing. And we're contracting about 85 contractions per second on some of our programs, which means that you're really getting an intense muscle tightness, so full muscle flexion throughout the entire workout.
Most people do the workouts for different reasons. Some to get rid of cellulite, some to lose weight, some to, to gain some muscles. What are the benefits of EMS?
EMS has numerous benefits, from low impact on your knees and joints, which means that anybody can do it, from your oldly aged people to your younger people. Very easy on the joints. Great with cellulites, as you picked up. All of the sessions are personalized. We also, the nice thing about EMS is 20 minutes is equivalent to hours of conventional training, which is the greatest thing possible. So all of the people who don't have much time or don't have much motivation can come in and utilize it.
You got me at 20 minutes. Most people say to us you need at least 3 months to start seeing the results when you're using obviously the conventional fitness methods. With this one, how long does it take for me to see results?
So we still look at the 3-month timeline. We still look at 12 weeks, but we make sure that you are able to do fewer sessions in a week to still receive the same benefit at the end of that term.
Just take me through the whole process.
We get you changed into the nice little lycra that you're wearing now, and we take you into an in-body. The in-body is important because it gives us a full body composition analysis. It tells us everything about your body so that we can scientifically make sure that the workout is the best for you. So from there, we'll do the in-body analysis, then we'll go through and we'll suit you up. We put you in one of our EMS suits and then take you into the studio, and that's where all the magic happens.
Now I have all these things on my body and load shedding. Safety?
So it's not electricity in which you think that you're plugging something into a wall. Rather, it's an electrostimulation. So it's taking electricity and it's turning it into an impulse. The nice thing is most of our Body 20 franchises across the country all have alternate power supplies. So that even when the lights go out, we still power you on, and we're still making sure that everything is going to the best heat. We also make sure that everything is as safe as possible. So if load shedding kicked halfway through, it's not going to dampen on your training at all.
So which one is a real winner of the fitness industry? Traditional gyms or smart gyms? Well, all of that is up to you.
You're still tuned into Trendz Live. Thank you for keeping in tune with us. Now, don't forget to get us on social media platforms. That's on Twitter. It's at Trendz on SABC. And hit the follow button to never miss a beat. Now, the world's best street dance competition, Red Bull Dance Your Style in South Africa, crowned its winner this previous Saturday in Durban. Now, the Sun Coast Casino was packed as all the dance lovers witnessed the top 16 dancers from all the corners of SA battle it out for that final win, where in Durban-based who goes by the name of Verb, finally won after entering this very competition 4 times. Now, you see how they say never give up. He'll be heading to Germany later this year to represent Mzansi at the World Final. Selepe Maifadi was out there. Let's see what went down.
What's up, Trendy Trenders? So right now I'm about to speak to someone who has been hosting all these events, and we were touring, you know, like Red Bull Dance Your Style decided every single damn year they go around the whole country looking for the best street dancer, okay? And one time we know that Ellie, he's our guy, the MC, making sure that each regional winner, he gets to pump up, make the crowd go crazy. Ellie, what do you think about what we saw today, the outcome? How are you feeling?
Outcome, amazing dancers. The winner, Verb, he was on point. Every single dancer was actually hot. Some dancers I've never seen before because I didn't do some of the stops this year. But the fire was them, the energy was them. It was a good South African final. So yeah, it was proper, it was proper.
Tell us a bit about what you saw tonight on the Red Bull Dance Your Style stage.
Diversity. I saw crump, I saw Awambe Banger, I saw Amapiano, I saw challenges that I see on TikTok. So pretty much diversity. I can't dance, but like at some point I was, you know, I had fun, yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal. To see, more than anything, I was just blown away by the fact that they can play, say for example you're a hip hop guy, and then they shuffle you with a drum set, and then they just come out and they do. I said, absolutely phenomenal. The creativity is just absolutely insane. All the dancers, literally every single one of them, spot on. I can't default any of them.
Well, when it comes to Red Bull Dance Your Style, there's one important element, okay? What the DJ does. He fuses music, like just a chop and change here and there, just to confuse the masses. And one person who's always out and about, part of Red Bull Dance Your Style, going around the country to make sure that we got to this moment right here, is of course the cut, okay? What did you think of the selection that superstar Courtney Paul had on tonight?
It was super dope. I liked the ending. It was a nice surprise with some retro music, OG stuff with the Amapiano. So it was very cool. Yeah.
Would you say you have found an advantage because it's in Durban for the first time and you get to finally win it?
I mean, for everybody in the city, it is a home ground advantage, but we have amazing dancers either way. So what I saw, Durban ended up falling in love with some of the dancers, and they really liked their style. So the pressure was on, hence why the final for me, I had to make sure that every single round I kill it so that no one complains, no one says, oh, at home. They can even watch the video and go, even if you was in another city, you were still going to win.
A one-of-its-kind multisensory art exhibition is currently on at the Goethe Institute in Parkwood, Randburg. A collaboration with the University of Cape Town Michaeli School of Fine Art, the art exhibition is aimed at engaging different human senses to experience different forms of art.
Curator Walaza says images reach out beyond themselves, allowing the viewer to imagine more than is seen. Now, that's exactly what this exhibition is about, allowing you to touch, feel, see, hear, and smell, challenging the traditional design of art. Walaza is showcasing the artwork of different artists in this exhibition.
I found out that there's this metaphysical sense, like when you approach the art, you feel something, you know. So there's this sixth sense, not that sixth sense, but like there's this sixth sense that sometimes it's metaphysical. You feel something outside of the five senses. So I chose all 6 artists because all of them create out of materiality. So I wanted materiality to be one of the premise of the artwork that we create, right? So right behind me we have Nyakalo, right? And Nyakalo creates drawings, and she gets bacon paper, she gets like old tea bags, she uses needles, and those are materials to be able to create conceptual art and to be able to create the 5 senses I'm speaking about, right? And then on my left we have Pepper Fatso, who uses sketchbooks, you know, and with the 5 senses is the touching, you know, and you can be able to smell the book if you want to engage it that way, because it is an interactive exhibition style as well, you know. So we have Pepper Fatso on the left with the books, with these sketchbooks, sort of writing and drawing his ideas, and he creates conceptual art. So it goes back to that premise again, right? And then we have the beautiful blankets and other materiality that Bolom Kombete uses, you know, and she does auto-ethnographic research, and with the ethnographic research she speaks about her family, you know. So when you look at the different maps is where her family comes from, you know, in the different areas of South Africa. So we have Gauteng, we have Limpopo and Western Cape, just to name a few, you know. And then let me think. Oh, and then we have Nkensani Mkari, you know, he's got a beautiful soft sculpture within Kesi, and then you'll see the beautiful aisle that goes round and round, right? And with that is called Forever Deferred, and this is the 9th attempt, you know, so he's done other 8 to it, you know. And the beautiful thing about it is that he created a beautiful interactive piece whereby you can listen to the sounds of like what this Nkisi and this aisle and this temple means, you know. And we have Bonolo Kavula, who uses beautiful materiality. Those different dishwashes, the blue, red, and when she uses that, she takes that and she does it in an African spiritual context, you know. And then we have Brian Montiwa, who has the beautiful soft sculpture in there, which you can touch, which you can also smell, which you can feel, you know. And with you touching it as well, there's this metaphysical experience that happens, you know, because obviously when you touch something happens. When you get inside, impact happens as well, you know. And he's creating it about what he's going through in his life right now, where he belongs, you know.
How different is the artwork here from your ordinary artwork? I could call it that.
It's like it's conceptual art, you know, whereby people need to imagine a bit more and sort of create more context out of the work that the viewer is looking at, you know. So it's not simple things whereby when you come in you see something that looks like something that you know. So they're using materials that you know to create something conceptual, something outside the box of, you know. So I think it's a liberating way to create art as well, you know. And I think it's a beautiful way to know that this type of art exists, you know. It's not just my 6 artists that are creating. So there's other artists who are creating conceptual art and abstract art, you know. And it needs to be spoken about. We need to understand it a bit more. We need to understand what sculptures and soft sculptures are, and what other creators are creating outside of the normal norms or the trends that are happening at the moment.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Trendz Live. Now, I trust by now you've already moved the tables. You have your dancing shoes on because we are about to have a party. Let me give you a clue. The lava. Okay, let me leave the singing and then just present. He'll do the singing. Now, when it comes to hits, this next artist is no stranger to being at the top of many chart-topping hits. Mr. Denial Donald is back in the scene and dropping listen bangers as per usual. Now, this time around, he has rather giving us a new single titled KONKE, which is featuring Star Healer and Lasek. He's here to give us the 411 on what he's busy with in studio. You know what you're busy cooking, my guy.
T, what's up, man? Are you good?
Listen, I'm happy to have you here.
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Giving us a new single.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, talk us through the breakdown and the transition, of the song KONKE.
Well, the breakdown is we're going into the festive season. And as we always do as South Africans, every single year towards the end of the year, we need to get down. So we need the soundtrack of the summer.
Yeah.
So basically, I just decided this year I want to be part of those artists who are gonna drop the song of the year.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And we're still seeing you pouring out your heart.
Yes.
So is it safe to call it R&B Yanos? We're inventing a new thing here.
Well, I mean, you know me, I've always sang about love. So it's always about me, spreading that love. And so I continue with that message because I do believe that is my message in general. Being an artist, I'm just here to remind people, okay, well, not Njolo, love. Because there's a difference between Njolo and love.
Hey, Njolo get pandemic, my guy. You don't want to be messing with that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, so then you spoke earlier on about gunning for that song of the year. You're going for the big titles now.
Yes.
What should we expect for us to say, listen, actually this song, it can end 2023. We are fine now.
Well, me and Star are here to introduce everyone to the song, but also just to kind of get into the mood of the festive season. Man, shout out to Lesex who produced the song. It's for me, I really believe this is going to be one of the biggest songs of the summer, and I cannot wait to hear it at every club, at every party, and
even here on Trendz Live.
I mean, we're starting here. Literally.
It's an exclusive.
It is an exclusive, my brother.
So then, we recently saw you releasing an EP after the passing of your father. May his soul rest in peace. Would you say that it was a healing process for you and just a coping mechanism?
Yeah, man, that was probably one of the most important, I would say, projects I've actually ever dropped. I was going through a lot. I was going through a transition, and I poured my heart into the music, which is something that we do as artists, and I do that a lot. It's part of my healing. My career is part of my healing as a whole. It's very important for my mental health. So So I think was that.
In the opening link, I speak about you busy being in studio, cooking up some storm, right? Take us through that studio session. Donald is in studio, just the creative process, man.
Well, currently I'm in studio a lot with Bosta, with Lesex, with Sfiso, who's our, I would say, the head songwriter. He's writing all the songs. And man, we just come into the studio and we chill. We talk about relationships sometimes, or about, the beat is playing in the background, and then before you know it, Sfiso has a melody, and then before you know it, there's a verse, before you know it, there's a song. I can't really tell you, bro. I think for me, that whole process is very spiritual. It's a spiritual moment that it just happens, bro. Like, I can't tell you what actually happens. We're creative, so we go into another world, and we're able to bring in this thing back into the real world that everyone is living on.
Next time when you guys are having that session and talking about relationships,
you wanna come?
Hey, call me. I wanna come vent for a little bit. We've actually seen you before being so creative with double discs and everything, right? Because you choose to be different and you stand out. That I should mention, right? Would you say that we should expect some sort of that creative twist again with this next project?
Well, I'm not really working on a project at this point. I'm just working on songs. I'm just working on collaborations. I'm working on singles. So as of now, I will say people must just expect singles after singles after singles until I feel now is the time for me to do an album, because albums are very close to my heart. They've got to mean something. Then the message has to be, you know what I mean? I love concept albums. So I'm currently not in that mode at this point. Right now, I'm just doing collaborations and a lot of singles.
You said the name of your song is KONKE, right?
It's KONKE.
So you are taking KONKE, the accolades. KONKE, even KONKE the awards.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, over to you.
Darling, you say kodwa mangibuya ngizokuthengela imoto nembali, ngizokuthengela iFerrari neLamborghini sithandwa sami, kodwa mangibuya ngizokuthengela imoto. Asami ke Star Healer,
angitshele ngizojabula nini na,
ngizojabula mangikhona sithandwa sami,
angitshele ngizojabula nini na,
ngizojabula makungizela wena sithandwa sami,
angitshele imali lezi zami yini na,
ezakho dali ngakunika konke,
angitshele imali lezi zami yini na,
ezakho dali ngakunika konke.
Masengimoyizela mina konke kube mnandi, konke kube mhlophe dali. Masengimoyizela mina konke kube mnandi, konke kube mhlophe dali.
Masekujabule wena konke kube mnandi, konke kube mhlophe dali. Masekujabule wena konke kube mnandi, konke kube 1, 2, 3.
Ngikhathele ngamanga, ngiyacela iqiniso. Kunini dali, kunini, angitshele bakhona abanye yini, bakhona abanye yini. Kunini dali.
Let's go for 1, 2, 3. Asami ke
Masengimoyizela mina konke kube mnandi, konke kube mhlophe dali. Masengimoyizela mina konke kube mnandi, konke kube mhlophe dali.